before you kill me, could you please show me and tell me where I violated my contract? It was a leopard colored skin. It was the torso. It looked like it got blown up. And it had reptilian skin. It had normal body parts like we have on our insides. And then add stem cells to that and platelet-rich plasma, which increases bone density up to sometimes 10 times.
Wow.
Your own bone.
Can you confirm that you have been authorized to disclose what we're talking about now? That this is officially okay?
What I'm saying now, I believe is going to be fine.
Okay.
I've not been threatened ever for any of that. The only time I was ever threatened is when I brought the DNA back from the Atacama from Spain illegally. So they just said, you violated your contract, and I said, before you kill me, could you please show me and tell me where I violated my contract, and I'll be happy with that. I said, you know everything about me. You have your own satellite on me. You know every phone, text message, you know everything. Everything is bugged. It's like, what did I do? You know, just tell me. And 8 hours later, sweating in this room, they came back, they said, we're very sorry, Mr. Smith. It was an internal problem, and you will never have to worry about that again. We apologize.
You go to Sandia.
Yes.
And
well, I'm already living there on the base. A lot of the craft that I was kind of brought into different projects to look at the craft, because the craft were actually alive.
oh wow.
Yeah.
The craft were alive.
The craft were alive, and they were conscious, yes.
This is similar to what we heard from David Adair,
Yes.
where he described going to Area 51 and seeing this power system that was actually a living being.
Yes.
But it was this very large thing that had it looked like a skeleton over the surface of it. It had like tissue components, but it also had technology components. It was some weird blend of technology
That's
and
right.
tissue.
It's right. And it's already started. And you know, I was part of that movement too, where we formulated tissue into titanium. It's called Osteo-Integration.
Really?
Yeah. So that's a good one to get into at some point, because that's what led us in the underground projects to say, man, if we can have tissue and titanium to be together, and I can make your bone tissue and titanium, you're gonna be pretty strong, Dave. It's gonna be hard for me to break that bone. And then add stem cells to that and platelet-rich plasma, which increases bone density up to sometimes 10 times.
Wow.
Your own bone. Keep that in mind.
So that sounds a lot like Wolverine in the X-Men movies.
Absolutely. And now that this new protein has just been discovered, A2M, alpha-2 macroglobulin.
Yeah.
Holy moly. What this does is it's a protease inhibitor, which means it blocks all inflammation. So the body can heal itself.
Sure.
And so I'm so excited now. It's here for the civilians, and it's all over.
Right. So let's talk about how you got started with extraterrestrial biology. Were you aware at first that
No.
you were autopsying ETs?
No, I was basically taking tissue samples from whatever piece of tissue it was. Some looked like salmon, some looked like, I don't even know, can't even explain it. But then every 3 to 6 months, you get a upper security clearance. So I stayed with that.
So you had described to me before that you called them salmon fillets. Like when you first got started, would it be like a square like this big or something?
Yeah, it was like a perfectly cut square. But it was always different. And then the samples started getting more intact, where you could tell that, whoa, this is a hand.
What if you told your friends or your family? Like, were you given security briefings about that?
I would be killed.
Really?
Yes.
Now you say a hand. I mean, describe what the hand might look like. Give me one example of a hand.
So you might have a very small hand. It might look like a frog, but it's like it's just a little bit different. But it's a palm, like it's got prints, it's got nails. So whether or not this was an extraterrestrial, I couldn't say at that time, because I know they could have just grew whatever this was and killed it, chopped it in million pieces, sent it all these places. You know, I wasn't the only technician doing this.
Right.
You know, and there's actually a small little city of people that actually live there that do not come to the surface usually, that I'm aware of.
Right.
And it's a very dynamic setup. So for me, since I was already living on the base, it was easy because I just rode my bicycle to this small building. But it's just like, at that time, you have to understand the year, what we're talking about in the early 90s. Like, it was like very fantastical, to be part of all this. So when you get to the end, you go through your check station.
What does it look like? Where are you? What do you see? You were in a tunnel.
Yeah.
But what do you see once you get off the gun?
There's glass doors there, seamless. They open up like you would see in Star Trek, like whoosh, they open up.
Oh, wow.
And there's these two stations. And if there's someone in both stations, you have to wait outside the glass. Like the other people might be before you check in.
Oh, they're being interviewed or something?
Yeah, they're being checked in.
Okay.
And so there's two other glass stations. So when you go, this opens up. Now you have a security check guy here and a security check guy here. And
so what would happen with these soldiers at the desks? What do you?
Well, they check your palm print, your retina scan, and then.
And does the soldier talk to you? Do you have questions you have to answer?
Yeah, they ask questions. Anywhere from just a couple, or sometimes they'd be like, go ahead. So they were doing this with people, and they had these special animals. They were dogs, but special dogs. And
special meaning what? They look different than a dog?
They were somehow trained or maybe hybrided. They were a little bit larger, looked like a German Shepherd Mastiff mix, and a bloodhound. And then you gotta go through two more doors, and now you're in the locker room, and there's gender doors.
Oh.
Female locker room and male locker room.
Okay.
Okay, so your
Does
folder.
somebody tell you your orders?
Well, they're usually just there, and sometimes there are, like we call them the managers.
Okay.
Are in there because if there's something they want to say to you, they already know a half hour away that you're coming.
And how many floors do you think there are?
Where I was?
Yeah.
Oh, over 50.
Wow. So once we understand exactly what you're doing, then the number of extraterrestrial bodies that these guys have must be staggering.
Oh, it's unreal. I mean,
so, and you said you never really saw much repetition in the type of stuff that you saw once we get to that point in the story.
Right. No, it was different.
They're always different.
Always different. But the thing was did they grow that here? And this,
you don't really know.
It's a disinformation too, because they're going to throw a couple disinformation things at you in case one day I go public and no one's going to believe me that I saw a 10-foot reptilian being escorted down the hallway.
You're saying you did see a reptilian?
I'm saying I saw a lot of cloned, hybrid, 3D printed beings. Just because you see it doesn't mean it's real.
Right.
The same thing with the new satellites we have we're projecting stuff on cars, on the ground and cast shadows now. Palpable, systems, that look like I'm right here, but I'm really not right here.
You're saying they could project something that looks just like a car with a shadow, but it's not really a car? It's just a projection from a satellite?
It's a projection of a car that is palpable. So it's hard for me to say, yeah, I saw this craft, or I saw this ET, or I saw this hybrid, or whatever, unless I actually touched it.
But some of them you said were alive, like they might be carrying it as if it was their prisoner?
Well, yes.
Okay.
Yes, and that's, the reason I kind of opted out, after 10 years, because I felt that something wasn't going right because one of the bodies I received was warm.
So a warm body means that it might have been killed right before you had to autopsy it?
Correct.
Right.
Right. But I have seen, live extraterrestrials, face to face.
Or something that was ET-like.
ET-like,
Yeah.
or hybrid, or cloned, cloned individual from a ET.
Could you describe for us the very first partial body that you saw? What did it look like? And we'll end the episode with that.
Yeah, it was a leopard colored skin. It was the torso. It looked like it got blown up. And it had reptilian skin. It had normal body parts like we have on our insides. So I did see a spleen, heart, lung. The face was too distorted and destroyed, so I couldn't tell you what the face looked like, but it had perfect normal bone structure like we do, and it was just the skin was beautiful. It was iridescent blue leopard skin.
If you enjoyed this, make sure to watch the next video on Awaken Zone. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell, but you won't want to miss what's coming next.